Yo, what's good, niggas? I'm not a nigga that like criticizes super hard and it's like, oh, well, you said this and then you didn't do it, or you said that and then you did this. But I am a nigga who does get pretty hot when an anime does some cool ass shit and then they're like not acknowledging what they said at the very beginning. The first example is I can even think of hand signs in Naruto, right? Because I've been, you know, on my annual rewatch of Naruto or whatever, and I'm in Land of Waves and I saw like Haku did the one-handed hand sign, and I didn't realize how many times they do cuts to everybody's face in early Naruto to where a nigga puts chakra at his feet, a nigga blocks an attack, and everybody's like, I didn't know he could do that. You didn't know the nigga could put his arms up? But regardless, yeah, hand signs are a staple in Naruto. Hand signs in Naruto are just as iconic as like the running with your hands behind you, your arms behind you. Like, there are some things in Naruto that are just like like you don't even realize how they're like, oh, that's a Naruto thing, you know? Like, I don't know if I ain't never seen niggas do hand signs before unless they was, I don't know, gang banging. But like, and it's weird to me because also, now that I think about it, with the running back with your arms back, they still do it in like later Naruto. But there be times where them niggas be running normal as fuck. And I'm like, ain't you running with your hands behind you because that's faster? If you could run the same speed, normal and hands behind your back, why are you running like that? But back to the hand sign thing, right? I got off track. With the hand signs in Naruto, I remember seeing, like just a week ago or whatever, Haku did the one-handed hand signs, right? And Kakashi says, now let's be for real with ourselves. Kakashi knows damn near everything. Not damn near everything, but like Kakashi is the guy. He's the tutorial man. You know what I mean? Like, if Kakashi don't know some shit, we should be scared. You know what I mean? This nigga knew Zabuza was a 7 ninja swordsman and he killed his class and da 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 da. Then he sees Haku do a one-handed jutsu and says, oh, we're fucked. He says, oh, Sasuke, you're dead, buddy. That is the words that come out of his mouth instantly. This nigga's eyes shot open. He said, I've never seen someone do that ever. I mean, like later in Edo Tensei, like in the war, we see Minato do it. Obviously, because he got his fucking arm ripped off. But like the fact that Kakashi doesn't know people can do one-handed hand seals and he's never seen it is crazy. You've never seen or heard Hiruzen talk about doing a one-handed hand sign? And yeah, just all the, like, think about Kakashi. Think about all the cold ninjas that he's been around in his life up to the point where he starts teaching Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Like, he's been around Minato. He's been around Orochimaru. He's been around Hiruzen. He's been around Jiraiya. And you're telling me you have never, ever seen a nigga do a one-handed hand sign? You gotta be bullshitting. But yeah, just the fact that hand signs in general they've become obsolete, that's the word, which is crazy because I'm gonna go right back to Land of Waves. But back to Land of Waves, also when Kakashi pulled out his Sharingan and started copying Water Dragon Jutsu, you know, all that bullshit, they made it so like, them niggas was doing that jutsu for 10 minutes, bro. Like that's what I'm trying to say. I can't get the words out. That's what I'm trying to say. They made it so evident and whatever. Oh, Kakashi's hand signs are so fucking fast. Oh, Kakashi can copy anybody's jutsu before they even do it. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, how do you throw away, or not even throw it, but how do you like diminish a concept like that to being like, oh, hand signs help form the chakra or whatever the fuck. And then being like, oh, well, later on, you know, sometimes you need a hand sign and sometimes not because you're just that cold that you don't need to do all that shit. I don't know, it was one of those many things that like Naruto could have, you know, capitalized on and could have added to the world or whatever the fuck. I don't know, I'm in my nerd shit. With Bleach it's a little less, you know what I mean? Cause like with Zanpakutos and Bankais or whatever, I'm not gonna act like I know every fucking thing about Bleach like I kinda do about Naruto. But I don't know, like the symbolic and like I feel like the feels of Bleach were taken out a decent bit. For one, spiritual pressure, I feel like got dog walked to hell. Because early on in Bleach, notice how I keep saying early on. Stop making these long ass series. But anyways, early on in Bleach, especially when they first got to the Soul Society, and you know, Kenpachi felt Ichigo's presence or whatever, he was like, oh, there's a strong nigga here. I want him. You know, that was cold, because that's a way where it's like, I don't know, it adds identity. It adds like, you know what I mean? I don't even know how to really describe. It's like another Naruto example, right? When Madara dropped down or touched down and then was about to murk all them niggas. Like, you see niggas sweating. I wouldn't be surprised if niggas was back there crying at the sight of Madara. Like, that's a good moment to use spiritual pressure. Aizen is a good nigga with spiritual pressure. Kenpachi, Ichigo. And I feel like that's taking away like a layer of character to be like, oh, this nigga's energy is like crazy. Like, you know what I mean? If he knows to turn or figures out how to hone that, or he figures out like, you know, when to unleash that and when to like, you know, he gonna be fucking nuts. Like, that's the type of shit I miss. And I feel like now, I'm not done with 1,000 Year Blood War, but like they just, another thing, they just like let it go. Like sometimes it's there when it's like useful, but they don't use it nearly as much or nearly as intensely did in Soul Society. Especially because when Kenpachi pulled up on them niggas, it wasn't even in front of them yet, but was like a couple blocks away. Bro, these niggas fell to their knees, bro. They fell to their knees at the sight of, not even the sight, but the feeling of this nigga coming. Have you ever felt somebody like looking at you? Imagine you felt somebody watching you and they were just so much stronger, so much more powerful than you that you literally could not move. God forbid fucking fall to your knees in the middle of target. Like, what are we doing? Anyways, next. Nah, but for real, like how did transformations go from like a nigga being pissed off, big ass, buff, fucking John Cena looking ass nigga to now like, ooh, oh, that feels weird. Hold on, let me get that itch. Ugh. And now you a Super Saiyan. Like, fuck out of here. Surprisingly though, I did actually like the what's the red one? Super Saiyan God transformation. I think that like the ritual, I think that's like a cool little bullshitty way. Like, all right, we'll cheese it for the one time, but the rest of that shit I feel like should be legit, bro. Honestly, I don't even know how I'm gonna take this one, but anytime JJK comes up in convo, I need to just like rant, because I know so many people fuck with JJK, so many people still love JJK. I still think it got some charm, etc. But like, dude, I thought JJK was finna be that shit. I thought it could have been like, oh, you know, like that guy. Obviously, you know, if you read, you know what happens. But I'm here to talk about domain expansions, because when the show first started, or manga, whatever, and they introduced domain expansions, Gojo's let us see his pretty little face. It felt like, oh shit, like we not finna see a nigga do this for a hot ass minute. And then we see a nigga do it in the same season. That's like fucking a kid. No offense to Megami. Megami's obviously like the coldest, not the coldest. I'll say Megami's obviously like the second strongest student potential wise, I think. First or second behind Yuta. Just cause Yuta's fucking crazy. Like, when you see him at the end, it's like, maybe Megami could beat that nigga if he was really on top of it. Like, yeah, it just felt like something that was like unattainable. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it just felt like something that was like, ooh, shit, that's something to look forward for. That's something to look forward to see our characters gain that power up, to see, you know, it's like watching Ichigo go and learn Flash Step and then gain Bankai and whatever, all this other shit. It's like something to look forward to, some type of progression. And I feel like they just kind of started throwing that shit around. Like, Gojo makes sense. Sukuna makes sense. Mahito makes sense. Jogo, he's like the tutorial guy, so also makes sense. When he was getting his ass beat by Gojo. But I feel like in like culling games and shit, they kind of just started being like, alright, here you go, here you go, here you go. To these other niggas who are like not the pinnacle of sorcery, you know what I mean? Like, that's, excuse me if I'm getting it wrong, JJK fans, but like, was domain expansion not introduced as like the pinnacle of sorcery? And yeah, I feel like they kind of just treated it like, oh, well, you know, if you're lucky, or then, you know, you might just get it right here, you know, level 10 unlock or whatever. But going along with that, like the spectacle and shit, also just how the way they make Gojo feel. I know he's gone for like fucking 60% of the series, it feels like, but it feels like they don't, like, at first they introduce him as, oh, he's that guy, prime John Cena, Superman, Stone Cold Steve Austin, in the 90s, whatever you want to call the nigga, he's unstoppable. He can come out with no clothes on, he can come out in a bra and panties. he gonna whoop your ass regardless. And I felt like they just kind of, like, yeah, they're like, oh, we gotta get him back, you know, we can't do this without him, we gotta get him back. But outside of that, it's like back to the spiritual pressure shit. It's like, it doesn't feel like they characterize a nigga enough as how crazy he is. Like, when they showed us Kenpachi for the first time, they showed us that nigga was crazy. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but end of the day, JJK dropped the ball any fucking way. But that's all I gotta say. I'm tired, and I'm probably gonna take a nap, so I'll see you niggas later.